hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young.
I'm here at the beach at Mocktown, Newtown, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the different advantages of living in the Philippines or staying in the Philippines. And so the first thing on the list here is English is widely spoken. You know, so if you go to, let's say, Thailand or, you know, a lot of other countries, English is pretty much taught in the schools in the Philippines as a second language. And so the people, you know, most of them speak really good English. Some of them even speak better English than people, let's say, from the U.S. You know, so yeah, that's it's a major advantage. You know, if you want to strike up a conversation with somebody, and if they don't speak any English and you don't speak their language, you know, it can really kind of make things a little bit more difficult for you. So so for me, that's the first item. You know, that it's just really advantageous for you. So the next item I wanted to talk about is that, you know, you can probably afford things if you're living here and staying here. The cost of living is less, so you're going to be able to afford the things that you probably couldn't afford back home. You know, now one of those things would be house cleaning. You know, for me, staying in a condo here, house cleaning cost me about 500 pesos. It works out to about just under $10, you know, really. So it's a great, for me, it's a great deal. You know, it's like, why mess with something like that if you don't need to, and when it's so cheap. Yeah, house cleaning is one. The next item would be laundry. You know, you can go ahead and have your laundry done. They will wash it, and fold it, sometimes they'll iron it, all for about $3 or so. You know, so it's so reasonable. For me, it's a great deal, and it's something that I really enjoyed doing. It just saves me time. You're not stuck at home, you know, for on a Sunday or something, doing laundry all day. You know, so it's like, wow. It's really, for me, it's a big bonus. For a lot of people, they like to do their own laundry, but really, I think that's just out of habit. And the next item on here, I'm going to say, would be eating out. You know, at home, it's rare that I eat out. It's maybe a couple times a week, you know, in California, because the cost is, you know, it's prohibitive for a lot of people. You know, so yeah, eating out here, it's a lot more affordable. As an example, sometimes once in a while, I'll stop at McDonald's and I'll get their big breakfast. And that meal cost right at just over $3, you know, and in California, that same meal runs, I'm going to say, closer to 10, you know, so it's just a huge difference. And then if you want to go to nicer restaurants, it's usually about 1/3 of the price, you know. So if you've seen a few of my other videos, one of them is like eating at Vikings, really great buffet. You know, it comes with beer. It comes with beer. I think it comes with beer or wine. everything's unlimited, and that meal's right at $20. So it's a great deal. And speaking of food, there's another chain that's here. It's called Jollibee, and it's similar to KFC, and they also have KFC pretty much almost all of the different franchises from the U.S. they also have here. And I would say that if you go to a mall, you'll see more U.S. franchises that you no longer see in the U.S., such as Shakey's Pizza, TGI Fridays. A lot of those have closed down in the U.S. Chili's, a lot of those have closed down in the U.S. So you'll Toys R Us. That's not food, but yeah, it's another company that I noticed that they have here that we no longer have. Now, if you're living on a really tight budget, if you like Filipino food, you can get, for instance, barbecued chicken and rice, and that was costing about $1.50. When you get that on the street. Now, if you go to a restaurant, you're probably going to pay $3 something, for that same meal. But it's good. It's healthy, and and it's so reasonable. So a lot of the local people, they get by on basically with rice and maybe a vegetable, that kind of thing. So whatever your food budget is, if you want to keep it at $200 a month, it's fairly easy to do. But if you want the great foods, stuff that you're used to in the U.S., you're going to pay quite a bit more, for your food. But you do have that option, to save a lot of money on food if you want to or you need to. And so food's a great bargain here. So the next item on my list would be one of the things that are really reasonable in the Philippines would be getting a massage. It usually runs about 400 pesos, and with the tip and everything, that works out to about $10. So it's a really great bargain. Most people in the U.S. cannot afford it, or pretty much anywhere in the Western world. So something to think about, to take advantage of. It's anything related to services in the Philippines is going to be less expensive than what it would be in the West. The next item I wanted to mention here is processed foods. You don't really see that many processed foods here, so it's a lot easier to really eat healthy if you want to. So yeah, there's very few processed foods. You can go to the street market and get fresh fruit and vegetables and meats and fish. So it's a lot cheaper too, So yeah, if you want to be a little bit healthier, the Philippines is a good place for that. Your food costs in general are going to be less here, so compared to the U.S. You can probably eat for as little as $200 a month, and if you go out every day to nice restaurants, the sky's the limit. So if sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, the food's not very good in the Philippines," and that's just not true. If you want, if you want a big, juicy, thick steak, you can get it, but you're gonna pay for it. It's gonna cost you $20, $30, $40. It's gonna cost you some money. But whatever it is that you want, whatever kind of food you crave, you can get it. You just probably don't want to eat like that every night because it's going to be too expensive. So, but yeah, every once in a while I treat myself to something like a big juicy steak, that kind of thing. But chicken is definitely the more prevalent food here. I probably eat chicken, I don't know, 3 days a week or so. But I believe it's a little bit healthier than beef. So it's, whatever you want, you can get. Yeah, so there's a really good bus system, and taxis are cheap. If you want to take a taxi, it can cost you anywhere from a dollar, typically maybe up to $3 if it's a long ride. But yeah, it's kind of like a different world. As far as the costs go, you don't have to have a car if you've always had one and you decide to make the move here. Don't immediately go out and buy a car. Try the public transportation. It'll save you a lot of money, and it's actually kind of relaxing not having to deal with the traffic and stuff also. At least for me it is. I enjoy it. And I'm somebody that likes to drive. But when I see how inexpensive it is, it just makes no sense to get a car here. That's just my opinion, so. Another advantage of being in the Philippines is that the people are super friendly. And if you need help with something, typically, they'll offer to help you. It could be anything from lifting a heavy box to directions, whereas in San Francisco, for instance, my experience has been if you ask somebody a question or something, most of the time they will just ignore you totally. So it's kind of a nice thing, So people again are super friendly, and it just seems to be part of the Philippine culture. So it's really refreshing, actually. If you're a senior and you're in the Philippines, you'll see that you receive special treatment, kind of. And it would be everything from, let's say, if you go to the bank and there's a line of people, they will let the senior people go ahead, typically, of the other people at the bank. So it's nice, and some stores will give you senior discounts. They'll ask you if you're a senior, or they'll automatically just give you the discount, which is nice. And also in restaurants, some of the restaurants will give you a discount also. Could be 10%, it could be, I think I've received a 20% discount before. Yeah. And but the one that I enjoy most, the perk would be at the bank, just not having to wait for an hour to get to the teller. So yeah, it's great. And also I believe they have discounts at the movies too, usually, for seniors. So, and again, those movie prices are cheaper than what you would pay in the U.S. or I'm assuming most Western countries. The other item on the list I wanted to touch on is immigration. So in the Philippines, you can stay there for up to almost up to a year. I believe it's up to 1 year, and then you have to leave. But up to that point, you just you're able to extend. You can extend your visas as long as you do it on time. And yeah, whereas a lot of other countries, including Thailand, you can't do that. You need to leave after 60 days, after 30 days. I'm not even sure what it is right now. But the Philippines is more lenient on that stuff, which is nice. It's great not having to go to, immigration every 30 days to get the extension. I think, I'm not sure about this, but I believe you can get the extension all the way up to, it's either 90 days or 6 months. I'm not sure. But either way, it's a really nice benefit. The Philippines, as far as immigration goes, it's great. And that would be, you're here on a tourist visa. And as far as working and that, you really need to probably consult like a check with the immigration attorney or something on that stuff. Yeah, so I'm not going to touch too much on that. But yeah, Philippines immigration is really good. Another added benefit of staying in the Philippines is you'll notice a change. When you people will tend to treat you with respect. A lot of times you'll be addressed as sir. In my case, Sir Greg. It's a nice feeling because in the U.S., I don't know when anybody has ever called me sir. So anyway, you're going to feel you'll see a difference. The Philippine people treat you really, really well, and it's like a different world again. I know I said that before, but it really is. And the other thing too is that you're going to feel. Everybody that I've spoken with that has stayed over here for any length of time, they feel relaxed. If you've got high blood pressure and stuff like that, you may see it go down, without changing too many things. So anyway, it's just a more relaxed atmosphere, and you'll feel it. The day-to-day life is slower paced, so if you're somebody that expects everything to happen on the dime, then the Philippines may not be the place for you. It's more relaxed. I love it as far as that goes, and so anyway, I hope this information was good for you, and hopefully I didn't cover too much here. And I'll probably do another video saying regarding the things that are not good, maybe about the Philippines, so but in general, it's a great place to be. You'll see your quality of life, I believe, definitely improve, and thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day or evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thanks.